Every day in Missouri, student-athletes rigorously pursue life's successes by facing the challenges of sports and academics. They struggle to achieve more, to reach higher, pushing themselves in the spirit of competition. The whole world ahead of them, and nothing holding them back. But for a small number of student-athletes each year, catastrophic accidents leave these young men and women paralyzed for life. Missourians Who Care for Injured and Disabled Students was founded to provide special assistance to these young people and their families.
The night before I was injured, I was wrestling with a senior. I was a sophomore at the time, and I had done a move where it was a takedown move. I had done the move wrong, and I put my head in a position that I knew was wrong. The senior had planted my face in the mat and said, "You're going to get hurt if you do that again." But the next day during the meet, I had did that. I put my head next to his hip, and that allowed him to grab a hold of my head. And as soon as I did it, I realized I did it wrong and tried to pull away, and he held on, and that dislocated my neck right then, and I knew right away that I passed out just brief enough to hit the mat. But as soon as I woke up, I realized I had broken my neck.
I was wrestling for all 4 years of high school until my accident while I was deer hunting, and then I fell from a deer stand and broke C1, 5, and 6.
And I just remember her come running in the room screaming. You know, Blake had an accident, and that's all she knew at that time.
I was told that I would do nothing other than choke my shoulders and never come out the ventilator.
I was able to be stabilized, and then I came out from intensive care after 2 months. Well, they said I'd never walk again, and I had a cheerful nurse tell me that most quadriplegics don't live past 20 years.
When a student is first injured, there's so many things that have to be going through their mind about, you know, where am I going and when am I going?
Pretty much if you think about everything that you do in a day, I need somebody to help with me. That's what people don't really realize.
In 1975, when Doug Landis was injured, there was a huge outpouring of support for the young man, and there was a group of gentlemen, a couple of attorneys, and a couple of good businessmen that put together Missouri Kids.
Some of the people in the community kind of got together and donated and got donations to help purchase a van with a lift on it for me. We had been transferring in and out of a car and stuff like that on a couple of occasions, and it was just so difficult because I'm such a big guy, and my mom was doing the transfer and she was kind of small and stuff, so it's really difficult, and you don't end up going out a whole lot, so you just use it when you really have to go somewhere.
Missouri Kids is there to provide the equipment, the resources that are needed to go on with their lives after some very catastrophic injuries.
When something like this happens, you don't know there's anything out there. And it's amazing, all the different apparatus and modifications and things that are out there. Blake's coach, Coach Barndollar, brought me a business card to the house one day and told me I should call these people.
One of the first things we heard that Blake really needed is, they're called tie downs for the van.
We talked to Missouri Kids, and I explained to them I had a friend who had one, and it seemed really like a good setup. So they said, okay. Now he just drives up, bam, he's in.
It's an equalizer that it lets you become more of a productive member of society. And that's what Missouri Kids has done for me. I mean, I was able to go right back into my high school and join my class and graduate with my high school class. I went on to college and graduate work and everything, and Missouri Kids has always been right there for me. It seems like such a little thing, but it's so important to a person when they can get a van with a lift on it, or they can get a exercise bicycle to keep their body in good health, or a piece of equipment to help make their house accessible or something like that.
And now, once he's in his chair, he's pretty mobile, pretty independent.
Blake is working his way through the rehab process now, which is tough.
We do a 2-hour stitch here twice a week and work on a whole slew of different things.
Next month, I would love to have my hands back and do some kind of hand therapy. Here down the road, I would like to be shooting some sort of gun rigged up with my wheelchair and just shooting targets with it.
I'd like to see him get everything we've had, you know.
I think it's very helpful to realize that there is life after the immediate injury. Even many times when the doctors have said it's not going to happen, we've had so many instances of young people doing things that the medical profession said wouldn't happen. They have to realize that they can't give up. We always want them to have faith that they are going to move on and they're going to get better, and that their world isn't over.
I got interested in art kind of out of a fluke. Drawing and painting wasn't anything I was really interested in until after I was injured. I was spending a lot of time when I first came out of rehab watching television and not really going out much. Probably some depression going on there. And my brother came in one day and he goes, you know, you want to try something different? And I said, sure. And he goes, I bet you do a drawing contest. And he put a ballpoint pen into the mouth stick that I was using. And
gosh, kind of the rest is history. I mean, now you'll see at our auctions some of the finest paintings of wildlife that I have ever seen.
I really enjoyed what I was doing, and it was really neat seeing how the images came out. I realized I had a gift that I needed to try to explore. I just find the whole process liberating, and when I'm set up to paint, time can just fly by. Missouri Kids over the years has really impressed me because for a small organization, it's really made an impact on a lot of people's lives.
And through the years, we have helped in excess of 30 young people. There is a great organization out there that is very giving and very helpful to young recipients.
They're a good group. Missouri Kids, wonderful. I'm so glad we found them.
We need your help. I mean, we never know when we're really going to need to pour out our hearts and our finances to help young people.
Countless organizations are looking for cures to spinal injuries. Missouri Kids wants to do everything we can to help these young people today when they need it most. And with your help, we can give Missouri's kids a life that much better.